Hi, dear ones, and welcome. I'm Amy Rose White. Today, I want to talk about the 7 signs of a healthy relationship. Now, of course, there's millions of signs of a healthy relationship that could describe healthy relationships, but today I'm going to talk about my favorite 7. So, number 1, do you and your partner feel comfortable making eye contact with each other? I know it sounds silly, but you'd be surprised how many people have a hard time really looking at each other. And this conveys a sense of interest, engagement, safety, and more important, number 2, presence. So feeling like you and your partner are present for each other during especially deep conversations, but even just the day-to-day things about how your day went and what is new in the world, lots of stuff lately, feeling like your person can really be there with their body and their breath, which eye contact is a part of, is a sign of a healthy relationship because it helps the nervous system relax and feel safe. And that's really the core of a healthy relationship, is a sense of safety and belonging and warmth and kindness in the relationship. So number 3, is this person, and are you, in your relationship willing to have healthy conflict? Now, for some people, the words healthy conflict is an oxymoron, and I really want to dispel that. It is essential to have conflict in your relationship. If you don't have any conflict, it means you're not talking and not telling the truth. Because no two people are completely compatible about everything. And by conflict, I don't mean yelling and screaming and name-calling and threatening to leave the relationship, which is a lot of what people equate with the word conflict in relationship. What I mean is, I'm having a feeling about that. This is the story in my head when I heard you say that. Or, I know this is really important to you, but I really care about us doing this thing on the weekend instead. How can we compromise? Healthy conflict is about adult dialogue. It's about what we call mental health ego strength, which means that we feel comfortable enough in our own skin and have enough self-love and self-possession, like a sense of our own identity, that we love this person, but we could live without them. We'd be okay, even maybe though that's not our preference. That ego strength allows us to handle disagreements without feeling overwhelmed or panicked or hiding from the conflict or needing to control the other person either. So that brings me to number 4. Is there reciprocal sharing and listening in the relationship? And this is a really good red flag for dating in the beginning. If on the first date, someone is just talking about themselves for an hour and a half and never pauses and asks about you, run for the freaking hills. You do not want someone that is so immersed in themselves, it doesn't even occur to them to be genuinely curious about you. That person is someone who is stuck in a place where they're just sort of looking for a cheerleader to listen and bolster them up, and they'll like that about you. But if they're not asking about you, then they don't really know who you are. So the relationship on their end is not about genuine affection and care for who you are. It's about what they get from the relationship. So think about your relationships in general, also with friends and even coworkers. Is there a reciprocity in you ask me a question, I talk for a few minutes, or maybe it's something deep and I talk for 15 or 20, and then I feel listened to and I say, and what about you? What's going on in your life? How do you feel about that? What would you do in my situation? So there's that back and forth in the dyad between two people. Number 5. Do both you and your partner have the ability to recognize when you've made a mistake? Because no one is going to be perfect in any relationship. Take responsibility for that mistake. Say, ugh, I blew it. I'm so sorry. And then make efforts to repair it. So in relationships, it's not that we never make a mistake or we never harm or say the wrong thing or lash out occasionally or shut down and withdraw and hurt our partner. It's not that we're trying to avoid ever doing that. It's that we recognize when we've done it and we take steps to turn back towards that person and fix it. Say, hey, I'm sorry, I snapped at you. I haven't been sleeping well for a few nights and it's not your fault, or I'm really worried about this thing happening out in the world and I took it out on you because you're the safest, closest person, and I'm really sorry. Can we go watch a movie together, or can I make you dinner, or can I give you a hug? How can I repair the severing that kind of happens to the connection when we aren't able to show up in our most loving, kind self for our person? So that is essential. And for in a relationship that there isn't recognition and taking responsibility and repair, we're going to limp along with needs unmet and become resentful and eventually find a way to meet those needs elsewhere, is what I typically have seen and experienced. Number 6, I alluded to this a little bit in number 5. Do you both turn toward each other when you're stressed? Now, that's not to say that some of us need alone time when we're overwhelmed. We need to be withdrawn for a moment. We need solitude. We need some quiet and space. Maybe we need to get out in nature alone to recharge our batteries. I'm an introvert, so that's very important to me in a relationship, that I have my own independent time and space, particularly in nature and even travel, to fill back up so I can give to my partner and my kids. But in general, we want to utilize the love and support of our partners and turn toward them rather than away when we're overwhelmed and stressed. And the Gottmans, I'm a Gottman therapist, John and Julie Gottman, who have studied couples for, I believe, over 35 years now, have seen that it's a very strong predictor of staying together in a happy way when couples turn towards each other, and a very strong predictor that they will break up or stay together unhappily when they tend to generally turn away, shut down, get quiet, lash out and leave, turn to other people for support. If you're thinking about, that other friend that does a better job than your partner listening, yes, there's going to be some topics that your friends get better than your partner, and that's not necessarily a negative indicator about your relationship. But overall, you want to feel like your partner is a very safe place to turn towards when you're grappling with anything, including your own relationship with them. So that's related to the final one and number 7, which is that person in your life that you're partnered with the first person that you turn to for comfort? It's wonderful to have lots of places with friends and family to turn to for comfort when you're stressed. But in really healthy relationships, your numero uno is your numero uno when you are feeling like life is too much and you need love and support. So if you put all those together, it's really about where I started in the beginning, which is this a safe place to fall for you? And if it's not, there's lots of things to do to work on the relationship and let your partner know this is where I'd like us to get to. And then to hold, as I always say, very high standards and not settle for anything less than that, because you deserve to feel safe and loved and cherished and adored with your person. I hope this has been useful for you. If it is, please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I wish you peace. May you be happy. May you be well. See you soon. Bye-bye.